When it comes to skyscrapers, few cities can boast a skyline quite like Hong Kong's. The towers that line Victoria Harbour have been the backdrop to blockbuster movies and home to a finance industry once the envy of the world. But business in the city has been changing, and at the centre of that change is the concept of the office. Billion-dollar buildings here are increasingly sitting empty, with 7% of Grade A offices vacant. Instead of renting pricey permanent space, some businesses are moving into flexible offices, like those provided by the Executive Centre.
I think the global pandemic has almost force-fed the concept of flexible office space to all companies and the people who run them. They've realized that some of their workforce may need to work from home, or they may need to work in decentralized locations.
Some flexible operators like WeWork have concentrated on smaller businesses and startups, but TEC's founder says the key trend is coming right from the top.
There's been a lot written about what employees want and keeping employees happy, and that's a good story, but fundamentally it's being driven by the CFOs of these companies.
Space is at a premium here, so the cost of real estate has always been high. For instance, Hong Kong is twice as expensive as the second most expensive place in the world, which is Tokyo. But the pandemic and protests here in 2019 and 2020 mean that those rents have recently become more affordable.
That's good news for the companies leasing offices, but not for the landlords. Commercial estate agent Cushman & Wakefield forecast office rents to fall between 11% and 16% this year in Hong Kong. Some reckon that could push building owners to adopt similar models to TEC, with flexibility at the centre.
The industry itself is immature. Flexibility will be much more of an owner-provided concept, i.e. owners acting as operators much more than landlords in the future.
But the drivers behind the change are the customers, and investors are betting big that the workers using the space will want something better. In the last few years, private equity firms like Alta Capital have launched. It's promising returns of up to 25% over 6 years by focusing on wellness and sustainability.
People's just consciousness around the impact that they're having through travel, as an example, or just on the environment as a whole, is now front and centre, and that trend is not going away.
Hong Kong's high-rise silhouette is a permanent and familiar feature of the city, but changes to the way we think about the office place flexibility at the centre of workers' lives.